Good morning, everyone. I'm Riley King, and welcome to this morning news report right here on the Riley King Network. Let's begin. Joe Biden and Kamala Harris make victory speeches. A time to heal. They spoke to the nation from Wilmington, Delaware. President-elect Joe Biden and Vice President-elect Kamala Harris made victory speeches to the nation Saturday night in Wilmington, Delaware, with prime-time remarks stressing unity for a sharply divided nation. Harris, 56, the first woman and the first woman of color to be elected vice president, was the first to take stage, savoring the solo moment in a suffragette white pantsuit, waving to the crowd and smiling broadly as she approached the podium. And take a look at the photo right here. Here's our new vice president waving to the crowd of supporters at the victory speech last night. She began with a tribute to the late congressman and civil rights icon John Lewis, giving a nod to those who paved the way for a more representative democracy. Congressman John Lewis, before his passing, wrote, "Democracy is not a state, it is an act." And what he meant was that Americans' democracy is not guaranteed. It is only as strong as our willingness to fight for it, Harris said. And when our very democracy was on the ballot in this election, with the very souls of America at stake and the world watching, you ushered in a new day for America. She went on to thank the voters, organizers, poll workers, and activists who she said delivered a clear message in what became a referendum election, choosing, she said, "I hope and unite, density, science, and yes, truth." You chose Joe Biden as the next president of the United States, and Joe is a healer, a unitary, a tested and steady hand, a person whose own experience of loss gives him a sense of purpose that will help us as a nation reclaim our own sense of purpose, Harris said. Talking up here from former opponent and now partner. The daughter of Indiana and Jamaica immigrants, Harris also thanked her late mother and the generations of women before her, including the black women who are too often overlooked, but so often prove they are the backbone of our democracy. When she came here from India, at the age of 19, she maybe didn't quite imagine this moment. Harris spoke of her mother, an Indian immigrant, but she believed so deeply in America, where a moment like this is possible. And so I am thinking about her and about the generations of women, black women, Asian, white, Latino, Native American women who, throughout our nation's history, who paved the way tonight. Women who fought and sacrificed so many for equality and liberty and justice for all. She gave credit to Biden for helping her ascend to the second highest office in the nation and said she hopes her place on stage will inspire others to follow. What a testament it is to be Joe's character that he had the audacity to break one of the most substantial barriers that exist in our country and select a woman as his vice president, Harris said. While I may be the first woman in this office, I will not be the last, because every little girl watching tonight see that this is a country of possibilities, she added. Biden, after nearly 50 years in public and 3 tries for the White House, then took the stage and squarely focused on healing a divided nation, but first took a moment to tout his history-making win. Folks, the people of this nation have spoken, Biden said, to cheers and honking horns. They've delivered us a clear victory, a convincing victory, a victory for we, the people. We've won with the most votes ever cast on the presidential ticket in history of the nation, 74 million. Speaking to several hundreds of supporters in the parking lot of the Chase Center, standing and cheering in their cars and waving giant and small American flags, Biden walked out, as he always does, to Bruce Springsteen's "We Take Care of Our Own," and expressed surprise at celebrating taking place across the country. What I must admit has surprised me. Tonight we're seeing all over this nation, all cities, in all parts of the country, indeed across the world, an outpouring of joy, of hope, a renewed faith in tomorrow, bringing a better day, and I'm humbled by the trust and confidence you've placed in me, Biden said. The president-elect acknowledged that bringing the nation together, given all Americans have been through, will be daunting and unprecedented challenge. I pledge to be the president who seeks not to divide but unify, who doesn't see red states and blue states, only see the United States, Biden said. I sought this office to restore in soul of America, to rebuild the backbone of this nation, the middle class, to make America respected around the world again, and to unite us here at home. It's an honor of my lifetime that so many millions of Americans have voted for this vision, and now the work of making this vision is real. It's a task, the task of our time, he continued. Biden thanked the coalition his campaign put together to bring him to this moment, calling it the broadest and most diverse moment in history, and paid special acknowledgement to the demographic that has historically led him to victory, especially in those moments when his campaign was at the lowest ebb. The African American community stood up again for me, Biden said, pounding his fist on the podium. You always had my back, and I'll have yours. Biden addressed President Trump only once, and indirectly in his remarks, noting he too had lost several times before making history in 2020. For all those of you who voted President Trump, I understand the disappointment tonight. I've lost a couple of times myself, but now let's give each other a chance, Biden said. It's time to put away the harsh rhetoric, lower the temperature, see each other again, listen to each other again, and to make progress. We have to stop treating our opponents as our enemies. They are not our enemies. They are Americans. Saying he would win the battle of the soul of nation, Biden quoted the Bible, defining the next chapter as the time to heal. He turned to the raging COVID-19 pandemic, pledged to get the virus under control, and said on Monday he would announce a task force of experts and scientists to oversee his administration's efforts to stop the spread. Invoking his Catholic faith, Biden shared a human he said he'd thought about in the last days of his campaign that is personal to him, and his late son, Beau, who died of brain tumor in 2015 at the age of 46. It captures the faith that sustains me, and which I believe sustains America, Biden said. And he will rise you up on edges, eagle's wings, bear you on the breath on dawn, and make you to shine like the sun, and hold you in the palm of his hand. And now, together, on eagle's wings, we embark on the work that God and history have called us to do, with full hearts and steady hands, with faith in America and in each other, with love of country and trust for justice. Let us be the nation that we know we can be. A nation united, a nation strengthened, a nation healed. Biden said in closing, spread the faith. God love you all. My God bless America, and may God protect our troops. Thank you. Following the victory speech, illuminated drones spelled out 46, representing Biden as the incoming 46th President of the United States, against the backdrop of fireworks. Viewers from across the country were projected onto screens and buildings as part of a virtual stage, highlighting the campaign's decision to stress the focus on social distancing. Outside the Chase Center in Delaware, where Biden, 77, was first elected to the U.S. Senate 48 years to this date, strictly support had gathered hours earlier to celebrate as people were around the country. In rows of cars, most tagged with Biden-Harris merchandise, they honked their horns as pair two took the stage in the first joint appearance, reminisced of trademark drive-in rallies they held before. Many took the tops and hoods to get a better view of the historic moment. When spouses and other family members took the stage, it was another history-making moment, as Doug Enoff, Harris's husband, is slated to become the first ever second gentleman. Their families joined together to celebrate the moment they and 75 million Americans and counting had been waiting for. And here are a look at photos. As you can see, his family, Joe Biden's family, and everyone's celebrating. And I hope you all got to watch my special report last night. If you missed it, we will share it again with you on the Riley King Network Facebook page. Now let's take a look at this video right now.
Coverage of 5G nationwide, and in more and more cities, the unprecedented performance of ultra-wideband. This is the 5G America's been waiting for, only from Verizon.
I pledge to be a president who seeks not to divide, but unify. Who doesn't see red states and blue states, only sees the United States.
And when our very democracy was on the ballot in this election, with the very soul of America at stake, and the world watching, you ushered in a new day for America.
We have breaking news results from the state of Pennsylvania. Those results are in right now, and based on what we are seeing there, we can say that Joseph Robinette Biden Jr. is on track to win the state of Pennsylvania, become the 46th president of the United States. Joe Biden will have at least 273 electoral votes. We're still waiting for results from the state of Arizona, Nevada, and Georgia as well, likely to increase his lead even more. But based on what we are seeing now, even though we are not projecting a winner, we can say that Joe Biden is on track to be the next president of the United States of America, the 46th president of the United States. Mary Bruce, we have a new statement now from former Vice President Biden.
George, we now have the first reaction from the president-elect. I'm going to go ahead and read this statement in full. Joe Biden saying, "I am honored and humbled by the trust the American people have placed in me and in Vice President-elect Harris. In the face of unprecedented obstacles, a record number of Americans voted, proving once again that democracy beats deep in the heart of America." He goes on to say, with the campaign over, it's time to put the anger and the harsh rhetoric behind us and come together as a nation. It's time for America to unite and to heal. He concludes by saying, "We are the United States of America, and there's nothing we can't do if we do it together."
While I may be the first woman in this office, I will not be the last. Because every little girl watching tonight sees that this is a country of possibilities. And to the children of our country, regardless of your gender, our country has sent you a clear message. Dream with ambition, lead with conviction, and see yourselves in a way that others may not, simply because they've never seen it before. The road ahead will not be easy, but America is ready, and so are Joe and I.
I'm proud of the coalition we put together, the broadest and most diverse coalition in history. Democrats, Republicans, Independents, Progressives, Moderates, Conservatives, young, old, urban, suburban, rural, gay, straight, transgender, white, Latino, Asian, Native American. I mean it, especially those moments and especially those moments when this campaign was at its lowest ebb, the African-American community stood up again for me. I've long talked about the battle for the soul of America. We must restore the soul of America. Our nation is shaped by the constant battle between our better angels and our darkest impulses. And what presidents say in this battle matters. It's time for our better angels to prevail. Tonight, the whole world is watching America. And I believe at our best, America's a beacon for the globe.
Okay, and there you go on that video. And thank you for watching this news report right here on the Riley King Network. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. I'll see you back here later on today with more news reports. Goodbye, everyone.